In Austin, I'm Quita Culpepper. Austin police formally announced they've solved the infamous yogurt shop murders 34 years after 4 young girls were killed.
And while there's no change to the horror, no wiping away any of the wrongs, no diminishing the grief, we can finally express a deep sigh, a release that comes from knowing.
Local leaders and investigators explained the significance and impact of naming a suspect in the deaths of 17-year-old Jennifer Harbison, her sister, 15-year-old Sarah, 17-year-old Eliza Thomas, and 13-year-old Amy Ayers. Now police say Robert Eugene Brasher's a known serial killer tied to crimes in at least 4 other states killed those girls on the night of December 6, 1991. Police say over time they were able to link Brasher's to the Austin killings using DNA and ballistic evidence. The lead APD investigator on the case says this is a development that couldn't have happened until now.
This is a combination of technology, good police work from multiple agencies and cooperation and timing. Because, for example, the Kentucky case, they didn't resubmit their knife and shell casing until last year. So this is something that could not have happened until 2025. And I'm sorry that it took 34 years for us to get here, but we're here now.
Brasher's died in 1999 by suicide. Mayor Kirk Watson says Austin is a step closer to closure. And the announcement couldn't come soon enough for the families and loved ones of the victims. The lead detective of the case, who took over back in 2022, apologized for the length of time it took, but says the technology just wasn't there at the time. He credits one of the victims, Amy Ayers, for fighting back that night at the shop. Investigators were able to retest DNA from under her fingernails, ultimately leading to the match to Robert Brasher's. Her brother Sean and Sarah and Jennifer's mother are just grateful they have some closure.
I'm full of gratitude. It has been so long, and all we ever wanted for this case was the truth. We never wanted anyone to go to jail or be charged with anything that they did not do. Vengeance was never it. It was always the truth.
The result you see today is when you have an army of people working together to reach a common goal, not for themselves, but for the victims and their families. Thank you to all of you.
Brasher's connection to Austin was, or why he was in the city at the time. The parents of those young girls killed in that yogurt shop in 1991 say they were just normal teenagers who had so much life left to live. Bob Buckaloo tells us more about who Amy, Jennifer, Sarah, and Eliza were.
If there was ever anyone who was nearly born in the saddle, it was Amy Ayers. Raised on ranches in North Texas, Amy was a little self-conscious about being a cowgirl when her family moved to Austin in 1985.
She was an animal lover. She really loved cats, and horses were probably her favorite of the animals. We've got stuffed animals of all kinds to go with that.
Barbara Wilson lost both of her daughters, Jennifer and Sarah Harbison. The girls were close in age, and Jennifer and Sarah shared a passion for raising sheep as members of the future farmers of America.
And the funny thing is, they really just love those animals in the first and second place because they just love them.
We have pictures of them just kissing them on the face and nose to nose with these lambs.
They're so funny. Gosh, they're funny. As a matter of fact, this is Jennifer's pin from the yogurt store for her uniform. I didn't even know that was here.
Scenes from a backyard wedding in 1989. It was here at her mother's wedding that most of what little home video there is of Eliza was taken. Having fun in front of the camera or some quiet time with mom on the couch are some of the few video memories of 17-year-old Eliza. She wanted to be a model, and she loved dancing and country music. Maria Thomas, Eliza's mom, died 10 years ago, but her daughter Sonora, who was Eliza's younger sister, spoke for her family today.
I know now what happened, and that does ease my suffering. And I can continue to pass on all the kindnesses that have been shown to me over the decades and hope that I can ease the suffering of others.
4 young lives suddenly lost, and the lingering question of what might have been. Bob Buckaloo, KVUE News.
A new data center could soon be built near a neighborhood in Taylor, and residents are fighting back. Malia Masumoto sat in on a hearing for the lawsuit against the project and explains neighbors' concerns.
This is the land Taylor resident Pamela Griffin grew up on.
When I was a little girl, the Blend family had promised my dad that he was going to make it become a park.
It used to be her and her siblings' playground, but could soon turn into a home for dozens of computer servers.
Everything around our environment that we have now, we're going to lose.
A company called Blueprint Data Centers plans to build a 135,000 square foot data center on the lot behind their family home on 2nd Street. Griffin and her family filed a lawsuit against the company, alleging that a deed from 1999 designated that land to be a park.
We need everybody to come in the community and help us because it's going to be a long fight.
And this 500 to 600 feet of land that's owned by the city of Taylor is the only thing standing in between their homes and where the proposed 60 megawatt data center is supposed to be. The defense argues that since the Griffin's home does not directly touch the land where the data center will be, it won't cause them direct harm. But neighbors argue that even with that little buffer of space,
that is not enough room for families to live in their homes comfortably with this huge industrial data center.
Amy Griego moved to Taylor 2 years ago and has been getting involved with the community.
I felt really strongly as a mom, as a therapist, and just a community member.
Friday, they all packed the courtroom wearing their No Data Center stickers.
We already have Samsung down the street, which is a huge undertaking, and I think the residents just want room for their kids to learn and play and grow safely.
This summer, many of them testified at city council meetings, expressing their concerns about light pollution, how much water and electricity the facility will use, and noise.
That constant hum is at a frequency that can actually really dysregulate people.
In July, Taylor city leaders approved allowing the project to move forward, but neighbors have continued to push back.
I think that no matter what happens, that's the important thing, is that everybody has come together, and we'll keep doing that.
A Williamson County judge could decide on the temporary injunction later this week, and Griffin says she won't stop fighting for her home.
Whatever he decides, we will be going to the next step.
In Taylor, Malia Masumoto, KVUE News.
As we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, an iconic self-portrait by Mexican artist Frida Kahlo is back in Austin for a short time. Self-portrait with thorn necklace and hummingbird returned to the Harry Ransom Center on UT's campus last month. The painting has been in UT's collection since 1965, but has been displayed around the world, most recently in Australia. And you have until January to see it for free at the Harry Ransom Center, and after that it heads to Houston, then to England, before returning in 2027. And those are the headlines happening in Austin. I'm Quita Culpepper.